welcome to my channel Whispering Chapters. This has been a long time coming, truly, in terms of recreating this channel, because I had actually started one back in 2014 and I even uploaded quite a few videos and I had like a nice following, but insecurities and just everything just kind of crashed down on me and I got extremely overwhelmed, so I stopped. But I decided, you know what, I keep seeing so many of my Bookstagram friends making YouTube videos and I was like, let's do it, let's dive in. So I will have another video explaining just kind of like an introduction and what this channel will be about, but something you should know about me is that when I get an idea in my head about something, I need to do it. And that's why today's video came about, which is a bookish haul. Basically all of the books that I got in April, I was gonna say March. All of the books that I got in April, which were a lot. I only bought 5, which I'm very proud of myself. Technically I bought a whole lot more than that because I got a lot of special editions, but they haven't arrived, so they don't count, right? They don't count, they haven't arrived. So yeah, so for today's video, it's just gonna be a bookish haul and something that I want my videos to be like. It's like as if you guys were here with me, we're just chatting, like you guys came by my house and it's like, let me show you all of the books that I got. So that's how it's gonna be. It's not gonna be very professional, prepared or anything like that. It might be kind of chaotic, just warning. But anyway, let's go ahead and start. Otherwise I will just keep on over here rambling. So first I got this package by Balloon Books. This was so exciting. I genuinely started screaming when I got it because I was like, this is Sierra Simone. If you've read Sierra Simone, you get what I'm trying to say. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Honestly, Sierra writes some of like the best, just smut-filled books that are also filled with plots. And it's like, she just does a fantastic job, truly. Got her Priest series. I only actually have read only this first book. I haven't continued. I know that's something that I need to do, but mood reader over here. So you guys know that when you're a mood reader, it's literally whenever the mood strikes. But this series, this trilogy, highly, highly, highly recommend it, and you guys should read it before September, because in September 12th, Salt Kiss by Sierra Simone is coming out. It's not necessarily a spin-off trilogy, but kind of, because it is based, or not it is based, it's set in the same world as New Camelot trilogy, specifically a kink club in Europe. If I'm not mistaken, it was in Europe. I could be very wrong about this, but it's specifically a kink club. It's going to be another MMF trilogy. It's going to be Virgin Bodyguard, an anti-hero that is guarding an arranged marriage. You have age gap, you have the kink club, forbidden, all the good stuff, all the good stuff. Next we have Highest Bidder by Sarah Kate. I don't know if you guys can see the books over here. I'm a very huge Sarah Kate fan, specifically the Salacious Players Club series. It's amazing. This is a book that I have been dying, absolutely dying to read. I already read it. I actually got an ARC for it. I will be honest, I liked it. I did give it 4 stars. It was a very good book, a very emotional book, but I feel like it was a bit of a letdown when you compare it to the other books in the series. Like I will always say this when I finish this book. I told this to whoever was asking. This book, if it had not been under the Salacious Players Club series, I think my expectations would have been a lot different. But because it's under this Sex Club series, I feel like this is a bit of a letdown. Like, you have a pleasure dom who's old, well, not old, but you know, like he has experience with being a pleasure dom, and I feel like that aspect did not really deliver. It focused more on the emotional aspect, on their friendship, which again, if it had been just a standalone book outside of the series, amazing, it would have been great. But you go into it with certain expectations after reading the other books, so that's why this for me fell a little bit short. Again, I still gave it 4 stars. I still enjoyed it. I still liked it. It was just that specific aspect where it just kind of like let me down a little, which I was not expecting. This is another purchase, Bone Island by Nicole Fiorina. You guys, if you have not read Nicole Fiorina's book, I have some of them over here. If you have not read her books, you guys don't understand how her writing, just thinking about it, I'm getting like chills all over my body. Her writing is just phenomenal. Doesn't even come close to what her writing is. It's phenomenal. It's outstanding. Oh my gosh, like it's so compelling. It's so immersive. Like you completely lose yourself. You literally feel like you're part of her writing, of her world. And specifically with this book, I felt it a whole lot more than I have with her other books. I don't know. Her writing just keeps getting better and better. Her writing is already amazing, but it keeps getting better and better. And with this book, you know, a feature is small town, witches, covens, curses. So much, you guys. So much that anything that I say will literally be, it will literally, honestly, be a spoiler. But yeah, I said this phrase. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm a major Taylor Swift fan. I've loved her since her Tim McGraw days, so it's been a long time. It's been a long time coming. And I do not say this lightly. I don't say this lightly. For me, Nicole Fiorina is like the Taylor Swift of books, of like authors, of writing books. Her writing is just to that level of good. If you guys are haters on Taylor Swift, then you guys may not get it. But honestly, I was reading this book, I was inhaling it. This is like 500 something, 600 something, oh gosh. Yeah, basically there's like a 600 something page book. She's thick. But honestly, I cannot, this book, I have a review for this. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave the link down below. But seriously, you guys, you guys need to check this out. Next, I got this trilogy by Natasha Knight. I got this from Valentine PR words. And I actually don't know much about them. All I know is that I think there's an age gap, billionaire, mafia, arranged marriage, enemies to lovers, romance over here in this trilogy, which obviously all of the good stuff. This one was also sent by Valentine PR, and listen, I have been wanting to read a book by Dagger Cole for a while now. I still haven't read this one. The cover alone was like, this is a heroine, danger, arranged marriage, enemies to lovers. She is forced to marry her enemy in order to stop a mafia war. And this actually features Irish and Greek mafia, which I have not read. I have only read, I think it's Italian mafia, maybe Russian. Yeah, Russian. And also Italian, and that's basically my extent on mafia romances. So the fact that this features Irish and Greek, I've heard great things for Irish mafia, so I'm kind of excited to dive into this and kind of see how it plays out, you know? Bloom Books also sent me the Linda New series by Celeste. I read, I think it was The Truth About Tomorrow, basically the forbidden taboo one that she had written. There was an age gap. I don't know if he was a step uncle or step something or something related. I can't remember. All I know is that I devoured that book. Absolutely adored it. So to have these in my possession, it's like, I honestly can't wait. So first we have Dare You to Hate Me. You would think that this is an enemies to lovers and it's actually a friends to lovers college romance, which is interesting because just with the title, I would have obviously expected it to be hate to love, but it's actually friends to lovers. It's football, it's second chance. And my personal favorite, mental health representation, specifically self-harm. And if you guys have known me for a long time, you guys know that I've struggled with that for years and years and years and still do. So to be able to read a book where it has that kind of representation, I'm scared in the sense of like, I hope that justice is done for that type of mental health, because it's not always handled in the best way. So I honestly so looking forward to reading this one. We have Beg You to Trust Me. This is another couple, so each book is a standalone. This one features another couple, Danny and Skylar, and this one has me, I just know that it's going to be very, very emotional because it's part of the Me Too movement. And the little quotes that I've read here and there have me like, oh yeah, this is gonna hit deep. This is a friends with benefits, football romance, slow burn. It's angsty because of course. This is my second one. My next book that I hope to read by her. This is A Strangers to Friends to Lovers, romance. It features a time jump. Bookworms, they bond over books. Small town, second chance romance. I love second chance romance. There's something about them just having that kind of history from way back then. Just kind of like, you know, I just love it. Love it. I also got King of Wrath by Anna Huang. It even came with the wedding invitation. You guys know that I'm saving this with my life. So if you guys don't know, Anna Huang has taken basically over Book Talk. I actually read Twisted Love back in like 2019 or 2020. I literally had gotten an ARC for it. I read it, I loved it, I was praising about it on social media, and literally a few days ago that I finished Twisted Games, which is the second book in her Twisted series. And I was like, oh my gosh, why has it taken me so long to read these, like continue the series? I'm just blown away. I'm currently in the third book. I do want to get through the Twisted series first before I dive into this one, just because I know there are some connections between King of Wrath and Twisted Lies, specifically the character Christian Harper. So for that reason alone, I do want to like read them all in order and then dive into this preciousness. It's always an arranged marriage, enemies to lovers. These are the kind of books that I consider to be light dark romance, because a lot of people say that these are dark romance. These are not dark romance. These are more of an introduction to it, because you still have a lot of aspects of just a contemporary regular romance. The only thing that I guess would make it dark is just a little bit of kind of like the male main character. He's more like morally gray and that kind of thing, so kind of veering into morally black. But so yeah, so that's why I consider them to be more on the light area of dark, like a gray romance. Why doesn't that term exist? I just realized that. A gray romance. Who's gonna make this a thing? Who's gonna make, okay, you know what, I'm gonna make it a thing on my channel. Hopefully I remember. Whenever I say gray romance, you know that it's like a great introduction to dark romance. Keep that in mind. I got Unconditional. This is the special edition that Eternal Embers did with Logan from LCS Bookstagram. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm just gonna put it in the link below, in the description box below, so you guys can follow her, because her recommendations are amazing and she's the sweetest human being ever. But yeah, I got this this cover and I am just obsessed with it. So this is okay, many people may not necessarily be into this. I understand that. But if you're looking for forbidden, specifically taboo, this is the one for you. We have Maddie. Maddie lost her family when she was 7 years old. Cal comes in. You know that the book was good. When I remember a lot of details about it, that's when you know that the book was good. Because typically I remember certain things and then the rest is like poof. And I still remember how this book started. That says a lot. Anyway, she lost her family when she was 7 years old. And Cal, he's a police officer. He arrives at the scene where tragedy happened. So he's, you know, he sees Maddie, he tries to be there for her, and she doesn't let go of him. She doesn't let go of him. She needed to go with like a social worker, and she's just absolutely not letting go of him. And he's like, you know what, I can take care of her. Like, that's totally fine. I can take care of her until a better placement is found. Unfortunately, or fortunately, she ends up staying with him even until she's 8 years old. And obviously for Maddie, seeing Cal, he's a cop, you guys. He's a hot cop. Anyway, she's, you know, grown up with him and everything like that. But when she was in her teens, things started shifting for her. She started seeing him in a whole new light, where it was kind of like, you know, and that's all I'm gonna say, because you guys need to experience this book for yourselves. Truly, it's one of my top favorites ever. Cannot recommend this enough. If you guys don't know if I love this book, just I have the special edition box in that corner over there. I love it. Typically it's actually on my shelf, but I've been rearranging everything and it's a mess. But anyway, back to the book haul. Gothic Hana. If you guys don't know what this is about, this is a gothic, like the name says, a gothic, kind of dark romance, kind of like paranormal-ish, but also psychological. It's really hard to explain, honestly. It's set in a college. It's a very secluded college. I would love to attend there. Barrymore, the University of Barrymore. It's like, oh, if there's a college that I would ever love to go to, that's the one. It's Barrymore. It is so good. So we have oh my gosh, Corvina. I blanked on her name. We have Corvina. She has always been like the outcast, weird girl. You know, she has, I think her eyes are purple, if I'm not mistaken, like purple eyes, black hair, and stuff like that. And everybody's kind of like, oh my gosh, this girl is weird. She ends up receiving attendance into acceptance. That's better said. Acceptance into Barrymore. So she arrives there. When she gets there, she notices that a lot of strange things that are kind of like I said, it's like a mix of paranormal and psychological things are happening. So you kind of have like a witchy vibe into it as well. And then we have, because this is a student-teacher romance, then we have Vad Deverell. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name, but anyway. Then we have the amazing, the one and only Vad Deverell. Then we have Vad. And Vad, you guys need to experience Vad for yourselves. Honestly, he sees this girl, completely gone for her. He's like, oh my gosh, like, she's the one. I need to have her. Just loses all sense of being when it comes to her. And his dirty talk, chef's kiss, chef's kiss. Cannot recommend this enough. Next, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this correctly, but I got the corrupt reprint from Mystic. If you guys don't know, I am obsessed with Mystic editions. This is actually my very first purchase from them because your girl was broke. So now I'm like, I joined the wait list. I got off the wait list and it was like, hallelujah, I got out just in time for Amo Jones and Peace-Size Havoc. So excited to receive it. But I also, as soon as I found out that they were doing a corrupt reprint, I had to get it. It doesn't have the original formatting that obviously the first one, like the first print, has, with the chapter headers and all the good stuff, but still just to have this cover. Again, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it because it's I still have it wrapped up because I don't want to damage it. Next and finally, I got this package by Cowles. I got Whispers of You and Echoes of You. This one actually comes out on May 2nd. But yes, so this is a small town series. This one specifically features a second chance angsty romance. It started off with a bang. I was like, the entire time, starts off with a bang. It's basically these two kids going around this small town creating havoc, unfortunately unaliving some people, and the one girl and guy that they wanted to unalive, one of them was the girl. They you know, they pew pew they pew pewed her, and she was basically bleeding to death, and the guy arrived just in time to be able to try to save her. If it weren't for him, she would not be alive. But unfortunately, to him, in his brain, he's not focusing on, oh, I saved her. No, to him, it's more of like, if I had only been there earlier, I could have, you know, I could have prevented this. And because of that, he decides to leave town. And he's like, breaks everybody's heart, breaks his family's heart with this when he leaves, breaks her heart when he leaves. So now he's back in town, and obviously everybody's guarded. Everybody's kind of like, you know, you left us at the worst time to leave. So, and she is having obviously trust issues, but oh my gosh, you guys, it was such a beautiful romance. Like, I was like, oh, I was so immersed into it. I loved it so much. And then, as I mentioned, this is Echoes of You. This one features a Friends to Lovers series. It also, so these books, I don't think I said it, these books are kind of like romantic suspense. This one features, again, Friends to Lovers. They've liked each other for years, but they've never admitted it. They don't want to cross that line in case it ruins their friendship. So we have Nash and Maddie, and Maddie, she ends up getting engaged to this guy who ended up being not the kind of person she expected him to be. And so in order to save herself, she ends up leaving him and arrives at her small town. And in Nash's life, once again, forced proximity, he ends up rooming with her just to help her out and stuff like that. And so much goodness in this book. I laughed, I enjoyed it, I got tears in my eyes. It was absolutely so good. And with this book specifically came this little pouch that says my love language is small towns and stalkers. This same sticker, this same design, I received it as a sticker, but I have it in my water bottle. I already put it on there. I always said I was never going to put a sticker on my Stanley Cup. As soon as I saw this sticker, I was like, that's the one. That's the one that's going on there. I also got tabs because, oh my gosh, I love tabbing so much. I love annotating. I've always loved it. Ever since I can remember, literally since I was in like 7th grade, I would grab a highlighter, highlight my favorite passages. I would put a heart to the page number of the pages that I enjoyed. So seeing everybody now just loving doing that is great, because if you guys have been around in Bookstagram for years, back then, even making a mark on your book and speaking about it was like, oh my gosh, you're destroying books. Bookstagram has definitely come a long way with that. And just seeing everybody even doing scrapbooks, like scrapbooking the front page and stuff like that, that's really like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. So I also got this package, and one of the best parts of the package was receiving, I think her name is Lila June, or the shop is Lila June Co. I don't know if I'm butchering that. Also, we'll put it down in the link below, in the description. Why do I keep saying link below? The description. I also got these trope cards. And basically these tropes are related to Echoes of You by Catherine Cole. But you can buy these in Lila's shops. There's like quite a few different sets of tropes. I don't know if I have already repeated, because I'm not looking, if I have repeated these or not. But yeah, these are, I love these trope cards. I've seen them around on Instagram so much, and I'm like, oh, I need them in my life. So to be able to get these in a package was like, oh my goodness, like, oh, like, this is amazing. This is such a brilliant idea, honestly. Love it. That basically concludes the book haul for this video. 21 books, that's insane. And like I said, I only bought like 5 of them, which that's good for me. I also feel like I was not as loose as I normally would, because I mean, talking to the camera, it's tough for me, but hopefully I get more comfortable with it, and then it's just feels more smoothly, especially with book hauls. I feel like with book hauls it's a little bit harder for me to film videos just because I haven't read the books. I don't know what to talk about them. I can just give you the tropes that I've seen, that I've heard that they have. That's all I can do. Like, if I've read them, it's a little bit easier to be like, oh yeah, that's what this book is about. That's when blah, blah, blah. You know, that's why I think I much prefer wrap-up videos where it's kind of like, hey, I've read them. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop this before I continue rambling on. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I will have a new video for you guys soon.